Good morning. Welcome to our third webinar in our series on digital business models. Today's webinar is on purchase-based business models, and Mary Coller Albert from SonyPictures Digital is going to be speaking to you today about that business model. We have added a fourth webinar, and that will be on May 27th on social media marketing. Kevin Yamano from ClearSpring will be bringing you that webinar, and we've got a lot of questions about social media marketing, so we've added that fourth webinar. We encourage you if you want a deeper dive on this information, because these webinars are just small pieces of the information that we have on our digital media and technology management program. We encourage you to register for that program if you want more information and really a deeper understanding. If you have any questions about that program, please email us at the address that you'll see on the last slide today, and we'll answer your questions and get right back to you. And now I'd like to introduce Mary.
Thanks, Mark. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us, logging in this morning. Today I'm going to be talking about how the money flows and transactional video on the web. Again, my name is Mary Coller Albert, and I'm currently an advisor to various media companies around digital distribution of video. Currently, I've been working with Sony PlayStation, and I had been at SonyPictures Digital, and I've been working with Sony PlayStation on their video download service. And prior to that, I was CMO at Movielink, which is now part of Blockbuster. So really, I wanted to kind of go over some of the basics of digital video, what we're going to be talking about today, and what we talk about overall in the hour-long course. The basics being getting into really what are the obvious things that you probably don't think about or some people don't really know about. Some of the business models, so a few little statistics we talk about today, what's working, what's not working, and really what's next. So just as an overview, the basics between downloading and streaming. I think there's some confusion here to the general consumer, maybe not to the industry, but it's good to really go by and look at it. Right now you have, the really top streaming companies being Hulu, IMDb does some streaming, TV.com and Juice. Netflix has a video watch now service, which we'll talk a little bit more about. But the streaming is not a permanent offering. This is something that the consumer sits back and watches. It's usually ad-supported. And there's no storage needed. There's no device that's needed. Just it streams through the Internet as a broadband offering. And at this point, it's usually not a transactional offering. It's ad-supported. When you download a file, you're actually permanently downloading something to your device, to your PC, to some kind of storage or main permanent storage device, whether that's in your PC or on a set-top box. Obviously, some of the more popular services like iTunes, even Amazon VOD has been coming along well. And we'll talk about some of the other services too. But again, the difference between streaming and downloading and what we talk about today and what we talk about in the hour-long course is really to understand that there's a variety of different business models that surround these different offerings. So what are the platforms? Again, I have Mac and Windows-based. These are all Internet offerings, broadband, IP-delivered video coming through. The set-top boxes that are out there today, you have Xbox and PlayStation, there's the game consoles, and some of the other set-top boxes like Voodoo, even TiVo as a DVR, is now offering streaming and downloading through their device. Roku, which was the first Netflix actual device that offered streaming offerings of movies and television through your television. There's a few other set-top boxes we're not going to be talking about that involve cable, fiber optics, but today we're just talking about these broadband-based models. So let's look at subscription. This is a pretty slim offering today, as Netflix has it kind of cornered. And again, theirs is a part of a broader offering, which is their DVD mailing offering, subscription offering. Right now, Netflix Watch Now is PC-based. They do allow it to go to other platforms, set-top boxes, that do continue to carry the Netflix brand. This is, again, part of the value added, so from a transactional standpoint, really it doesn't play into what we're talking about today in that it's part of a bigger offering that's not about just transacting online. So really, from a download perspective, we're talking about pay-per-view. If you look at these names of some of these services and some of these brands, it's a big variety. This world is still very new. The models haven't been really hammered out yet. Every studio and every platform negotiates every deal. Every deal isn't a known entity. It does get definitely negotiated down to the very last period. And every time, I've been in this business literally downloading transactional for 10 years, and it amazes me how people take it for granted when they want to start up one of these businesses that they'll be able to get all the deals done because, hey, all the studios and networks already have these deals with these other services. But each one of these services represents a different offering, a different platform, a different ability to the consumer on what they can do with the actual product. So, again, PC-based and set-top boxes at this time. And I added Voodoo here as a set-top box, representing set-top boxes, because they seem to be the most, not advanced, but they are at least farther along in the offering and have had some success with their actual downloads, the number of downloads. So let's look at some of the other business models here. We're talking about EST, electronic sell-through, also known as DTO, download to own. Really, this is depending on who you're talking to, what the studio is, what the platform. Again, it's still a very new world, and even at my time at PlayStation and at Movielink, depending on who I was talking to, I had to change the terminology to really talk the language. But EST is generally the common reference to download to own, electronic sell-through, something that resides on your hard drive. These electronic sell-through we're talking about right now, day and date, are films, movies. They're usually offered at the same time as the home video release. So the day it comes out, which is usually a Tuesday, into the stores, Best Buy, Walmart, whatever, you'll see it available on these services that offer electronic sell-through. It's a permanent copy. In most cases, in fact, almost all cases, there are no extras. There's nothing else that comes with the offering at the file. It's just the movie. And it isn't most in standard def. In the online course, we talk a little bit more about HD and where some of those models are going. But that is starting to happen depending on the device. Most television for download is offered as an electronic sell-through, not a rental. And that's really because they're such short form, anywhere between 20 minutes to 40 minutes. In the download world, we're really talking about short form being television, 20 to 40 minute files, and long form being anywhere up to 120 minutes for a full-length feature movie. And of course, iTunes is really what put the television downloads on the map. And then you have rentals. So you have electronic sell-through, something that you own. It's a permanent copy that resides somewhere on your PC or your device. Or you can rent a movie. In most cases, it is the movies that you're renting. This was based on the cable VOD model that was set up by the studios some 20, 30 years ago. When Movielink was formed at Cinema Now, way back a million years ago, 1998, 1999, this was the only model the studios really had about how to work with their content. How do we put it out there? How do we make it available? What kind of restrictions? So really the pay-per-view cable VOD offering was where they went. That's the good news, bad news. It was the good news from the studio perspective, but really from the consumer perspective, it tends to get a little bit more confusing. We'll talk a little bit more about that. So the VOD is a 24-hour video rental. It's something that you can download, watch for 24 hours. Within the 24-hour period, watch as many times as you want. This movie is usually available 30 to 90 days after the home video release. Now, some studios are playing around with their model, and they're offering day and date with EST and rental. They don't do it for all the movies. Every studio is different. It's hard to know which movie is going to come out in what offering. But this has been the general window, what we call the windows of offer of availability of these titles.